And he's muted himself again.
Wasn't that?
I said to unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it wouldn't be me if there wasn't some sort of big mess up. So what I was saying there while I was muted, which is probably a better thing for everybody if I'm muted, is hello and welcome to the Stadia Source Roundtable, where we're going to give a wee quick look at our reaction to the Stadia Connect, and we have a special guest of StadiaMania. Lee, do you want to give us a quick introduction of yourself and your channel?
Yeah, so my name is Lee from StadiaMania. My channel is StadiaMania. Twitter is @StadiaMania. I do Stadia content, mostly live streams at the moment, trying to do like beginner's guides, football manager stuff. So yeah, thank you for having me on, guys. I'm really honoured and I'm looking forward to getting stuck into this. It's going to be good fun.
Thank you for joining us. So we'll just go around the table here. Unfortunately, I'm here, which is the standard time. We also have Dan, we have Ash, who's Lord Murder, and we've got some person we don't like talking about because he's like the body of the group, Tommi. Also known as Stadia Arcadia, who you should not subscribe to. So I think we're all here to have a quick. I should have put this up. It just shows you how off the ball I am today. It's
been a mad day, to be fair.
Yep. Yeah. So that just leads us into our initial reaction to the Stadia Connect. We'll go with Lee first since he's our guest here today.
I'm very happy. PUBG was a great start, in my opinion. Free for pro subscribers. Everybody at the moment's a pro subscriber anyway. Cross-play. Actually, I predominantly used to play Xbox before I came to Stadia. So even just being able to reignite that kind of friendship and play again with them, it's fantastic. Then you've got FIFA and Madden. They're going to drop later on in the year. Two massive hitters, going to make outsiders take notice of Stadia a bit more. Some really good pro deals at the moment. Monopoly's cheap as well. Zombie Army 4's coming out. I was really happy with it. Even like some indie games. I thought it went as well as what I anticipated it to go, to be fair.
Yep, we'll go to the unloved person of the Stadia Source team. We'll go to Tommi here.
So I have a confession. I haven't really actually even been able to see the full Connect yet. I've been busy, so I haven't had a chance to watch the entire thing. I've seen snippets and obviously I've read a lot, so I've got a good idea of what's happened, but I feel like I'm missing stuff still, and it's weird to do this now, but I'm hoping that I'm going to learn some stuff during this.
Oh, yeah, that will be good. No, but I think you've seen all the headline stuff anyway, so you'll be able to do that. We will go now to Ash.
Hello.
Hello.
So, yeah, I think it's all the news. Well, most news is amazing. Like obviously, we did see a quick few snippets of some games, but we didn't get much detail about them, unlike others. Which hopefully that will come in time, but to be honest, I thought it was quite good.
Good adjective there.
You're welcome.
What did you think of Stadia Connect? It was good.
It's
coming soon.
Okay, Dan, we'll go with you now. What was your initial reaction after watching it?
It was gooder. No,
this is why you come to Stadia Source for these hard-hitting
pure gold.
No, to be fair, I mean, I think we've seen some massive announcements today, so much so that actually Stadia is trending on Twitter at the moment with about 8,000 tweets. So it has definitely left a ripple, you know what I mean, in the community. We've still got some haters saying stuff like, oh, PUBG was announced for Stadia and 3 people turned up. But, you know, I mean, haters are going to hate, so what can you do, really? But I think we already knew some of it anyway, because we uncovered, obviously, some of the, like, PUBG coming earlier this morning, because you guys went live early, didn't you, Duncan and Adam and Ash, while I was at work. So some of it's not been... and you. As...
like I said, Tommi doesn't count as a person.
Yeah, so some of it wasn't a massive surprise. We kind of ruined it for ourselves in that respect. But yeah, I think there was more than enough to keep most people happy in that. And the fact that we've now got like the likes of FIFA and Madden, which is what we've been saying for a long time, is one of those need to get games. So I don't really think there's that much more you could have asked for today.
I wanted the entitled Goose Game. Got it. That'll come in the next one with it.
Yeah. We'll probably come to that later anyway, because it looks like there's going to be a next one relatively soon as well.
They said in the summertime, didn't they?
Yep, so that'll be our E3 one where I would expect more bombs to be dropped. My reaction was it was good, but it wasn't great. I think it was still missing something to really send it over the top. We got the PUBG news. The PUBG news is probably the big takeaway from it. But the PUBG is actually an older sort of game, but it's still important to be there. But that's my initial reaction. I think it was good. It wasn't great. There's not so much positivity with that one today, but I think we needed one wee thing just to tip it over.
See, PUBG could pave the way for other games to come to Stadia when they see how well like a massive multiplayer game plays on Stadia. It could pave the way for things like the Call of Duties and the Fortnites and stuff. I know we've speculated that Fortnite could come soon anyway, given the recent news of it coming onto the Play Store. But I think it's going to give people a chance to go, I wonder what it plays like on Stadia. So they download, well, they don't download, they sign up for Stadia, obviously for free. They get the 2 months of Pro, they get PUBG, give it a try and go, actually, this is amazing. It works. And it works well. So when it works well when you put your mic on anyway, Duncan. So
anything that's going to entice people in, mate. Anything that's going to entice people into Stadia has got to be a good thing.
So I'll just bring it on here just to show that it's the Pioneer edition which is coming, which is the base game, the Survivor Pass, the Cold Front, and the Stadia exclusive skin set. And as the people who have been making fun of me there have just said, I did a live stream off it there, and you could see that without the mic on. So, what's all your thoughts on PUBG?
So I said this morning that before we knew that it was definitely a thing, and we've seen the ESRB ratings, so we knew it was likely to come. But I think this, as much as a lot of people are going to give outside of the Stadia community are going to give this stick, saying it's like the least popular battle royale that is out at the moment, and I think a lot of people are still forgetting that this kind of paved the way for all of the others, and it's likely going to see a slight resurgence, even if it's only on the Stadia platform, because it's a new game to play. But I think that's enough to show other developers that there's still potential to be had on games like that being brought to a service like Stadia, because one of the reasons I stopped playing PUBG was I was fed up with the constant updates, and they weren't small updates. So to now know that I can just click play and play, then that's going to be, again, it comes to that convenience side of why would you play it on Steam if you can play it, well, we won't say Steam because it's not PC crossplay, is it? Why would I play it on any of the other platforms if I can play it on Stadia, even if I've put 1,000 hours into it on PlayStation? There's no need to not play it on Stadia now if you don't have to update it.
What about you, Dee? What do you think?
Yeah, I agree, mate. As Tommi was kind of alluding to there, what put me off playing it on the Xbox was you had like the main game, then you had a test server, and anytime there's an update, it was 15, 20 gigs all the time. So your mates would like WhatsApp you a text, oh, you want to give me PUBG, 4 or 5 hour download, you're like, that in itself is so inconvenient. The fact that you can just instantly play, you can like play with your mates on Xbox or PlayStation, you've got the cross-platform aspect of it. Yeah, like Tommi was saying, it was the first kind of battle royale game as such. I'm really happy. I mean, I from a selfish point of view, I prefer PUBG over all of our battle royale games. So for me, it's great. For others, it might be a little bit have a dig at Stadia, but I think it's going to be the start of potential games that they can see coming onto Stadia, and hopefully that will get developers and publishers thinking Stadia is to be taken seriously, especially with FIFA and Madden later this year as well.
just to touch. Oh, sorry.
I've just got.
I'll shut up now. Just to throw in on that as well. This is going to be the first time that we get to actually see a competitive crossplay game where we could potentially see if everything we've kind of hoped about Stadia is true. So if it's crossplay with PlayStation and Xbox, and all of a sudden we start seeing, in general, more Stadia players getting towards the top end of the game, then it's kind of that thing that we've spoke about for a long time. If we start seeing that happen, people are going to start taking notice of the platform more from a competitive side. If they start saying all of a sudden that the latency issues that Stadia has still means that there's like a 60% win rate over the others, people from a competitive point of view will stop playing out on all other platforms. Not PC, but certainly the console side.
Do you think this could open up a potential door to esports as well on Stadia?
Yeah. Esport, Stadia specific. Yeah. Just obviously there's esports, but I think they'd love to have a specific one for Stadia.
Yeah.
I think definitely, especially with the Blizzard and Activision deal that they have at the moment. Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Yeah,
also.
Yeah, Ash, what's your feelings on this?
Yeah, for me, I feel the same about this as I did with Destiny. I've never played the original, but when Destiny 2 came to Stadia, because it was free, I gave it a go, and I'm doing the same with this. Like PUBG, I've never really been interested in, or the Battle Royale kind of games. But again, with it being free, to me, I see it as a free trial of sorts. So why not indulge? I went on for 5 minutes early just to quickly add the Stadia skin back to my character, just so I'm ready. But yeah, obviously it's going to bring quite a lot of people in, so why not?
I'll just jump in here if you don't mind. I'm going to go back to a point what Tommy said there. I'm actually going to back his point up here, so someone give me a slap.
I need to go and get another can first.
Yeah.
My first show, I'm like, what's going on?
I know. What I'm going to say here is what is something on Stadia, what is easier for everybody in Stadia to do rather than consoles.
Play the game.
Everything.
Especially in competitive FPSs.
No cheating.
Yeah.
Nobody's gaming on a keyboard like that, Duncan.
I know, but it's my Mac one.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. It's something that they've clearly, the Xbox and PlayStation have both started doing as well, isn't it? Putting in mouse and keyboard support for certain games. And I know when I used to play Siege, that was an issue that people started getting like funny about, that there were ways that you could play that game, certainly on Xbox, I don't know about PlayStation, with mouse and keyboard by an adapter, and it wasn't possible for the Xbox to know that you were using that input. So there was a serious problem with people going up against controller with a mouse and keyboard, and I feel like that's going to be an issue here again. But like, part of me is like, it just doesn't matter, because if you're not playing at a professional level, it shouldn't mean that much to you. Yes, it might be annoying that you get down to the final two and you only lost because you feel the other person's mouse and keyboard was better. I've seen pro players beat pro players that are playing with a mouse and keyboard. It's not just down to your input. You still need to have the skill to back it up. And whilst there are certainly advantages to playing any FPS with a mouse, it's still your skill brackets, right? You've still got to be good enough to do these things. It's
like my brother, my younger brother. He's about 22, and we lived together for about a year. Like, obviously, after we left our parents' house, and he used to play the Call of Duty, Black Ops 2, I think it was, and he was off work at the time. He didn't have a job, and literally I'd come back and he'd be playing up against like some of the best people in the world. Like, if you looked him up on the leaderboards, do you know what I mean? They were like up there amongst the top ranked, and he was just like wiping the floor with them, and I'm like, how are you playing? And then he told me apparently he uses something called the claw method, right, which is where he holds the thing like that, so he presses jump with his index finger. Do you know what I mean? And then he uses fire with his middle finger, and it's like he was obviously using that over people on mouse and keyboard because it allows him to move and jump at the same time, like move his view without taking his finger off the thumbstick. Do you know what I mean? Or his thumb off the thumbstick.
This is exactly where the likes of the Elite controller and that were birthed, though, right? It was people finding ways of changing controller layouts so that they could do these things. That's the whole reason those kind of pads exist. That they were all modded before, weren't they? People were doing it themselves, and then Mad Cats and that started doing it, and then Xbox were like, "Yeah, fair play, we'll release an Elite controller and do it officially."
Yeah, I want to just highlight a couple of wee points before we move on to our next subject of the discussion. Or actually, there's a good couple of points here. The first one is from the Guinness. Of course, I would have to pick that one up. And there's many games that use the same engine line as PUBG, so there will be easier to port games, which he hopes. Next one is, I think this is a really good point. This is PUBG could give everyone their Fortnite fix. We're getting like a free-to-play game, which isn't a free-to-play game, which is a battle royale, because everybody's going to get that on their pro membership. And the next one is with Rigor here. It's just talking about the controller, and it's so. Does anybody else anything to add on the PUBG news?
No, but I would just like to say to Rigor, that's even better. I hadn't even thought about the fact that they still get aim assist as well. That's insane.
Okay, the next one is the very big talking point. I've actually got a ticker for this because there's a lot of information in this one, and this is the EA news. And we are getting Star Wars Jedi Fallen available this fall, Madden NFL, and FIFA in the winter. So we'll start with Dan this time. What is your feelings on this?
So we've already touched on FIFA and Madden briefly. You know what I mean? These are some of the titles that people have been screaming out for. They must come to Stadia. So I think really we need to focus more on Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. And I've already seen some people on Twitter that are like, you know what I mean? I'm so glad I didn't buy this. Tommi, did you write something about it as well? Or am I just thinking about someone random?
So my tweet was Stadia is dead, followed by a load of emojis.
Yeah, it must not have been you.
I doubt it was that one.
Someone wrote like, "I'm so glad I've not bought this game because now it's coming out on Stadia." Do you know what I mean? It's going to be something that I absolutely get day one. So,
Dan, do you think that'll be full price? Like 60, 50, 60?
Most likely, yeah.
I reckon it'll be $49.99. I think by the time that comes to Stadia, I think we will see that there will certainly be some games that will maybe be the 55 or whatever. But I think for most games, they're base, no DLC, no season pass, nothing else. I think they'll start to level off at probably $49.99, maybe $54.99. But I think we'll see more of a plateau rather than this up and down pro price when it launches. There's only so long I feel like they can get away with doing that, because if they're still doing that in a year's time, I feel like they're trying to compensate for something that they shouldn't be compensating for. If you bought that game day and date for any of the other platforms, you paid a single price regardless. That was it. Nobody was discounting Star Wars when it came out. And it certainly was probably within my top 2, maybe even best game of 2019.
By the way, Raf's taking the mick out of you there, Duncan. Because you called it Star Wars The Fall.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just awesome. Long day. Ash, what's your feelings on the EA news?
So for Madden and FIFA, literally no interest. No, please don't. But for me, Star Wars is one of the bigger news sides of the entire Connect. Obviously, a massive franchise in itself. The fact that we've actually been able to get it, I find amazing. I've had it on Xbox, completed it. I love the story, the gameplay, the graphics, literally everything about it. The fully customized lightsaber. But yeah, I definitely think it's definitely a drawing point towards Stadia.
Okay, Tommi, you had a big spiel there, so I'm going to let other people speak now. Lee, what about you?
Yeah, I think it's good news, mate. Obviously, like I said, we touched on the FIFA and Madden. For me personally, I do like FIFA. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but to draw eyes on the platform, it's great. Star Wars, I mean, I think this is good to show EA, because at one point they were trying to get away from single player games. So I think this really kind of helped EA see, listen, single player games can sell. Like, you got your God of War games and all that. Plus, like, Star Wars is a massive franchise. It's got such a following. It's great for the platform. I've never played it personally. I've heard really good things. So I definitely will be jumping into it in Stadia, 100%.
Tommi, we'll go back to you now. We'll allow you to speak again.
I haven't played, I haven't owned a FIFA since probably 2017. I think 17 would have probably been the last one that I had. I'm not a football fan at all, if I'm completely honest. But I do like the FIFA games. They're good fun to play with other people. I'm glad that it's come to the platform, because it's that and Madden. I don't think I've ever played a Madden game, but I'd be open to trying it. Especially now, as I have a few more American friends that can actually tell me what the game's about and what I'm supposed to be doing, rather than just a lot of options that mean nothing to me. I mean, unfortunately, the sport's really small over here, but they will bring in a lot more people, and it's opening the way to EA Sport titles, which are undoubtedly some of the best-selling games in the world. Year on year, basically nothing changes, but they sell the exact same volume of games. So it's a good thing for the industry.
So Tommi, with regards to Madden as well, anytime they have a Madden game, so like an NFL game at Wembley, it always sells out. So I think that's a market to definitely tap into, is the UK market for Madden. I think it's definitely going to help.
I'm glad we're just getting more games from EA in general, because whilst they are the evil of the publishing world, they do make some good games.
What about a Battlefield game?
I would be open to that. I mean, I haven't played, other than having the most recent remaster for COD. I haven't played COD games for a long time, because I switched to Battlefield, and it'll be interesting to see if that comes. Battlefield 5, I wasn't a massive fan of.
4 was amazing. 4 was amazing. 4 was a win for me.
Bad Company were some of my favourite games ever. I just loved the writing in there, the satire. It was just a great set of games. And 4 was also just a brilliant game. To have the Frostbite engine available more, I think that would also give way to even more games coming to Stadia with potential power that the others don't have.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever played a Battlefield game, if I'm honest, but maybe I need to.
There's a clear divide, though, between those games, right? Call of Duty and Battlefield people don't play both of those games. It's quite jarring to go from one to the other, because the systems are so different. But I don't know. 5 felt very different for me. I feel like COD and Battlefield have kind of crossed over in the same way that Resident Evil did with Silent Hill. Originally, Resident Evil was this groundbreaking horror genre of zombies, and then they kind of changed their way, and then we seen Silent Hill 1 and 2 come in and take over that real horror scene again, and then Resident Evil changed up, and it's a similar sort of comparison, I think, between the two.
Yeah, Silent Hill was a jarring game. It was great, proper horror. I was young at the time playing it. I used to shoot myself. Yeah, it was a great game.
For me, anyway, it is welcome news that the EA have finally woken up and gone, okay, it's time to actually put stuff out in Stadia. The interesting thing for me here is that I think there's 2 unannounced EA games as well, which Raf has just mentioned us here. And that's exactly what I was going to say as well. I'm really happy that they're coming. We needed FIFA, we needed Madden, and we've got a good single-player game coming from EA as well. So what do you think the unannounced games are? I think it's going to be NHL, and I think it is going to be a Battlefield. And I know there's been a lot of talk about the timing of when the FIFA and Madden are coming out. I wouldn't be too surprised if the games have slipped slightly because of the situation here, or they're trying to balance it out for the new consoles coming. So I'll open this up to you guys now to have a discussion.
I won't say anything else on those other than with I think I agree with your slipping, but I actually think the reason will be because what's going on right now. It would be difficult for them to push out a game now when football isn't even a fixture at the moment. You can't even watch football. So I think even when all of this kind of settles, it's going to be hard for them to bring all manner of sports back in. They can't just chuck it back on from wherever it left off, right? Things are going to have to be phased in. Seasons may wait until the following year almost. So I think that will have a big impact on the sports titles as well.
Anybody else have anything to say about the EA games? Or what the predictions of the 2 unannounced ones are?
I think what's been said there is probably my guess too as well. I don't really have any other ideas what it could be, because obviously it's not just the sports titles either. Yeah.
Yeah, NHL would be a good shout. That's good. Nice play.
I want that as long as the Giants are in it. The Belfast Giants are the best team. Cardiff Devils suck, if any Cardiff Devils are about, or the Steelers. Okay.
I know exactly what the game is.
What?
Spore.
No. I would be brilliant. It would be brilliant.
See, I have seen a while ago there were meant to be rumours of the next Sims coming to Stadia. Obviously, being EA, it could be a potential, but I doubt it. Or at least not anytime soon.
I'm telling you now, that is an absolutely amazing shout for the Sims. That would tap into such a very big market.
I've heard that somewhere, and I don't know where. I don't know whether I must have dreamed it last night or something. I had nothing better to dream about. I don't know.
I think you're
I've seen someone mention Sims potentially for Stadia, and I was like,
not me.
I've seen it a few places.
5 minutes ago.
No. But yeah, it's a good shout, Sims.
Yeah, we'll move on to the next game, which is Creta or something. I can't. You know, I'm like with saying names. I can hardly say my name.
It's like a crater.
Yeah.
But it's a word play on creator.
Yeah.
Because you're creating a game, so.
Yeah. Basically, yep. This, I think, for me personally, I think this is going to be the sleeper game for Stadia. I think this could blow up massively. This is a game which is Minecraft, it looked like, with making your own games. It looked like it was a mix of everything. So this is a game I'm actually going to be keeping my eye on a lot here. And the best news with it is with Stadia Pro in the summer. So we know we're getting that game for free in the summer. So we'll start with Lee. This time we're going round that way again.
Yeah.
So what's your feeling?
I think it's going to do well, mate. I think it reminds me a little bit of like Little Big Planet-esque or Dreams-esque, where you kind of create levels and it's just down to your imagination. It's a bit like Minecraft, eh? We'll look at Minecraft when it first came out. Oh, it looks like the graphics are terrible, but it's your imagination, isn't it? It's true that it's like so pixelated, blocky, but look how massive the franchise is. So I don't think it's down to graphics. It's down to your creativity and whatever tools they can give you to create. Is basically going to be the basis of how good the game's going to be or not. And I think it's going to be, like you say, a sleeper title on the Stadia.
Yeah.
So didn't Xbox try and do something like this? I'm sure they released a game where the entire purpose of the game was to create your own game, but I cannot remember the name of it.
Project something, wasn't it?
Spark.
Project Spark.
Yeah.
There we go.
So
There used to be an Xbox guy, didn't there?
that that failed horrendously. Now, I haven't seen the footage for this game, so I'm purely going right now off of the basis of it's a game where players are going to create their own content, like say a Minecraft kind of thing. Now, provided PS4 has Dreams, so I have never played that either, actually. My only concern comes down to the tools that players are given, because Minecraft gives you very limited tools, but there's something about the way that happens.
Tommy, I just
so much.
interrupt you here for 1 wee sec. It's just right before you go on, because I know you haven't really seen much of this. During the trailer, there's actual coding as well. If you look at the trailer, there was an actual thing of actual code which came up.
In that case, the game will probably have very few limits and will probably be a very... I think that with knowing that the Maker program is in existence, there are going to potentially be some good opportunities there to actually see full games come out of that game.
Ash, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, so as a few of you have said, like, I fully agree. I do believe that this could be essentially our version of Minecraft, where it just looks like a basic game to some people, but it hits hugely. Obviously, the ability to just be able to create your own stuff, to make your own dreams kind of thing. But yeah, I definitely think it has huge potential.
Dan?
So I honestly don't think it's going to be as big as Minecraft, because that was a cult success, and I think it came at the right time, and that's why it is as big as it was. I don't know if it could be as big as Dreams. From what I've seen from Dreams so far, I mean, I've seen some crazy stuff being created in that game. I think someone's went even as far as making. Do you remember Sonic 06 on the Xbox? Probably dubbed the worst Sonic game that was ever been made.
Not Sonic Smash Brothers?
No, that's the second to worst. But yeah, basically, love or hate that game, the graphics on it at the time were amazing, and someone's recreated like a whole level from that game, like one of the jungle games. Now, don't get me wrong, it runs at like 2 frames per second, right? But it's all there. All the gameplay mechanics are there. All of the graphics are there, and they made that game in another game. Now, I'm not sure if they got asked to take a few of the Nintendo ones down. So people made like Mario replicas and stuff like that.
I was going to just say that.
So there's going to be some pitfalls potentially there if you're going to be able to kind of emulate other games within it. But if it's anything like Dreams, if it has the power to be like Dreams, then thanks, Rav. Yeah, if it has the power to be like Dreams, then I think we could see a winner big time.
Yeah, someone made a Wipeout level on Dreams and it looked amazing.
What, the racing game?
Yeah, 297 or whatever. But yeah, it looked amazing. I was like, wow. Look, you just sell it as a standalone game. It was so well done. Yeah, it was amazing.
I just found this.
Oh,
somebody remade Final Fantasy VII in Dreams.
It's madness.
Well, I just want to make this wee quick point, if you would let me, is the thing what Stadia has over PlayStation for Dreams is that what if we're going to have coding, so you'll be able to do this on the computer rather than the controller. You can actually do it keyboard and mouse to actually build it easier, quicker, and better. Who knows? There might actually be some of the. Can someone say the project? I can't pronounce the word, and I don't want to make a complete and utter Tommy of myself. The thing we were talking about on Sunday, Project Chimera or whatever it's called.
Chimera.
There we go. I cannot say words, as you can know. But imagine if they actually add that to the game as well.
I mean, just look at that. For saying that is a fan game that's not even made by Sega, and
looks better than any Sonic Sega ever actually made.
Yeah. Pretty much. No, I know we're bigging up a PlayStation title here. Obviously, this isn't Crater, but there's every potential for it to have that type of stuff in. So,
yeah, just picking up on this wee point by X here. And how will they go viral? State share. Boom, you upload the level onto YouTube, you put the link in, bang, 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 away you go.
Play my game, get a best time.
Exactly.
Beat the level, yeah. Yeah, I see you on that one.
Yeah, that is going to be such a big feature going forward, and especially for games like this. I've been saying for a while we need like a Mario Maker type game where you can actually upload your levels. This seems like it's even going to be a step beyond that as well. Does anybody else have anything that they want to add into this?
I'm actually quite looking forward to going and finding out a bit more about that, since you mentioned the fact that it's going to allow coding inside of it. That's... It seems like a surreal experience to go into a game and actually have the ability to encode in that. Hopefully it's more than just scripting, but
I think it's a bit more than dreams, but not too far. There was an actual live stream by them tonight as well, but we haven't had a chance to actually have a look at it, so we need to look in more detail.
Yeah, just a quick one as well. But see, I can see this potentially working with the viral way, the same way that Happy Wheels did, where you had a few... I can't think of the word now, but a few top YouTubers who play the game, fans then made the game, like levels for the game, for the YouTuber to then play. That could easily happen with this, and then again, same with that, go viral and yeah, bring in more people.
Like I say, yeah, people are as creative as they were with Dreams. It's gonna take off. Absolutely.
Just going back.
Yeah.
Mark, I personally thought it was good. I didn't think it was great. We touched on this earlier, so everybody's got their own opinions, which is absolutely what we want. We don't want everybody singing to the same hymn sheet, because then life would be completely boring.
I agree.
I think we said this from the start, didn't we? We need to go in with tempered expectations, because if you start thinking too far ahead of what you would like to see and then it doesn't surface, then you're going to be a bit disappointed. But you know what I mean, for some people there's going to be people out there that are like, this is the best day of my life, and then there's other people which are like, meh. Whereas I'm in between. I didn't see any of the games that I particularly wanted, but there are games that now I've seen them, I will definitely check them out, and I could be pleasantly surprised, as I have been many times on Stadia before. So
yeah, I'm just going to move us on to the next game here, and it is Get Packed. I did a stream of Kelly, who you may have heard in the background when she was dying, like she normally does when she's playing games, and we had a quick blast off it. It is out today, obviously, if we were playing it. So before I hand it round the table here, I just want to show you this. Andy Morse is doing a 12-hour live stream in the box, playing it.
Well, if he dies, then he's half the battle. If he, yeah.
Good luck to him. I think everybody should check that out on Friday. It's 8 o'clock in the morning UK time, so that would be 3 o'clock Eastern time and 12 o'clock midnight.
I don't know how he does it. I'd get restless legs.
Yeah. So I'll just take that down now.
Fair play to you.
Absolutely fair play to him. Kelly is playing Destiny 2 at the moment, and she got killed by what she normally calls me. And if you watch any of our streams, you know what that is. So Dan, we'll start with you there this time. What's your feelings in Get Packed?
It's good.
I think it's good though.
To be fair, I honestly haven't had a chance to check it out too much. So all I've seen is the trailers that everybody else has seen. I've been so busy trying to get the site up to date with all the news that's been dropped. I didn't even catch your live stream, Duncan. So that's something I plan on catching later on, maybe while I'm in bed, just kind of fall asleep
Thinking
to
of
the sound
Duncan.
of Kelly. Yeah.
Good news. There wasn't that much. I would say it'd be PG this version, so you don't have to worry. It's not going to be an 18 rated one. It was reasonably calm. There was just lots of cackling. I'm going to say
Industrial language.
there was no industrial language. Sorry, there may have been one bit of industrial language, but it was relatively tame. Ash, what about you for Get Packed?
Yeah,
You can just skip Ash.
Oh, thanks. Don't subscribe to Stadia or Arcadia.
In fact, let's just get rid of them altogether.
What? How dare you? Yeah, so amazing game anyway, but all we've really seen is like the minute and a half trailers that they've been dropping.
No, you haven't. You've seen it. You've seen an hour's gameplay footage in Stadia Source.
Well, yeah, I'll watch that one as well.
If you waited. But yeah, obviously I checked yours out, which was hilarious, especially when Kelly sent off the delivery truck. But yeah, definitely fun for everyone. Go for it. Got nothing to lose.
I'm all confused now because of
Now it goes to me.
Yes, that goes to he who shall not be named.
So I've been a big fan of Get Packed since we first seen it. I've waited for this game for a really long time, and the only frustration I have, and it's not really a frustration, is that I didn't get any time to get free until about 10 to 9, and then this started at 9, so I haven't played it yet. It's literally sat in a tab waiting to just press play when we finish this. That's the first thing I'm doing, is going and trying the game out. But it's a game that I started to get a little bit annoyed about, that I felt like it was just never coming out. There have been so many trailers to it, and we just thought, all right, is it going to come out now? No. Okay. Is it going to come out at this time? No. And then we were thinking probably pro game maybe for May, and then we found out that we were getting a Connect, and that was it. Then I was like, bang, yeah, we know we're getting it with this. Whether it's a pro game or not, nobody knows, but I'm not disappointed at all that it hasn't gone to a pro game. The only thing that now, I did say that I didn't actually want them to release this game without having crowd play, because I feel like that's a major element of what I wanted in this game, and I'm pretty sure we didn't get crowd play in this Connect. Am I right?
Yep, I could. When I was on the stream earlier, we were looking for it, and we couldn't find it. So I'm positive it isn't there. If it was there, they would have made a big song and dance about it.
Yeah, and I mean that's when I was scouring through Twitter, because 5 o'clock came, and obviously I wasn't able to actually be watching the Connect, so I was just scouring constantly, trying to find features more than games, and I was hoping that we were going to see crowd play. I was hoping we were going to see stream direct. So I was a little bit disappointed when I didn't see those things. I mean, I said this morning, I didn't think games were going to be what this Connect was about. I'm actually surprised we've had as many announcements as we've had. I was hoping more to see the features than the games. And again, I said I reckon we'll get one in June to replace E3, which by the sounds of it, we're going to get something around that time. So hopefully that's going to be when those features roll out. But I do feel like, same with Monopoly, I think these are two games that really would have benefited from having crowd play options.
Okay, Lee, what about yourself? What's your feelings on Get Packed here?
The game looks great. I've not played it yet. I was hoping, like Tommy was kind of saying, that it was going to be a pro game for me. They did type up from the very first Connect, I think was it June? I think they had like very early footage of it, and they were like hyping it up for the past few weeks. So you know it was like it was getting close to like May time, and you thought, hopefully it's going to be a pro game. Maybe that's my Scottish tightness coming out. But 19 out of 9 is a reasonable price. It looks great. I think I'm going to live stream it at some point. It looks like a really good laugh with your mates. It would have been, like Tommy was saying as well, if they could maybe say, hey, get packs out in a 19 out of 9. Also, it's the first game to show off crowd play. I think that game would have been perfect for that. But I really like the look of it. It's going to be great fun, couch co-op, online 4-player. It's going to be really good fun. Really fun.
I will give you a quick rundown of my hours playtime. I went into 3 modes. I've done the campaign mode in co-op. I did the destruction mode and the PvP mode, if you call it PvP. Versus. You knew what I meant. Stop being pernickety wee. The versus mode. My quick playthrough, it is really fun. It is an absolutely fun game. Would it be fun single player? I would have my doubts, but I haven't actually played it that much as yet.
Does it have matchmaking?
You can join other people's games, but for single players, I don't think it's going to be a big hit. I think this is built from the ground up for pure co-op play, and you can see crowd play was built or should be built into it to get people playing. I'm going to go into Happy's comment here. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be. We in our hours playthrough, we got through about 5, 6, 7 levels off it. We got through quite a number of them, and you can go back to get the starter level. But I'm not sure how much long-term value is there unless you're streaming it with new people playing it all the time. I would have my doubts maybe over long-term playability of it, but for short bursts with your mates, it's a perfect game for over lunchtime. So if you're out in the bike and you need something to play on your phone or something, I think it's going to be a perfect game for that. So has anybody else got any thoughts on Get Packed?
Just looking forward to playing it.
Looking forward to playing it. Crowd play needs to come ASAP to the game because it will take off that way. As with our stream, you need people to play it with you, and actually watching people actually abusing you and going Team Kelly. Why the hell would you go Team Kelly while you're doing it? You just need. It's going to be a fun game.
I mean, me and you, Duncan, we've spoken about this before, and I think we were both actually in agreement then that part of me would have waited for this game until next year if it was meant that it launched with crowd play. I feel like the majority of the time that I play this game, it'll be with the intent to go live, play it with people on a stream, and enjoy it with other people, and not always playing it with the same people as well, so that you get those different interactions each time. Make the game a different game every time you play it.
Yeah, exactly. It's a game which is built for streaming.
Sorry, Duncan. No one would have complained if they'd waited like even 3-4 months. They'd be like, we'll just hold it off. I mean, no one would have really been like, oh my god, get packs now. Like, they've hyped up for so long now, so why not just wait? But
I think moving out forced their hand.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And with it going on the Game Pass,
moving out.
It's on Game Pass from today, so I think that forced them.
You're right.
I know it's not on the agenda, but I'd like to obviously point out again that Monopoly released today as well. And I know, Duncan, you've purchased the game, and I think
I have as well.
Yeah, so I can see that one being quite a good game as well, especially one to kind of involve other people. Even if does it have online multiplayer? Do we know, or is it just local? Yeah. So that could be one to watch out for, especially if you're playing that with Kelly, Duncan.
Yeah, I'm going to get my. Why does everybody just want me?
I want in on that stream.
That'd be fun.
Yes.
Monopoly can be deadly at the best of times, so.
Yeah, and you hear that you hear what I get it normally, and you want to throw Monopoly into the mix? Like, come on!
Someone's sleeping on the sofa that night.
Yeah, and so I think it's also worth mentioning, Dan. Maybe could you get the article for me? We can go through all the pro games because there was actually a load of other.
You mean the deals?
Yeah, the pro deals for today, which you may have missed out on with all the news breaking over today. On top of my head, I think Ghost Recon has went on sale again, and a couple of others.
Yes and no. As in the base game.
Yeah. I think I've seen that, but you know what I'm like? I'm stupid at times.
There is some Ghost Recon. I'll just put it on screen. You can see.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, obviously, these are all the deals that have been on for quite a while now. Anyway, from Final Fantasy onwards, that's the new ones we've got today. So we've obviously got Final Fantasy Football Manager 2020, the Ghost coins in.
I know what's happening. It's down as Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon, so rather than just Ghost Recon.
Yeah.
The game, stupid idiots.
So I was in the middle. I was in the middle of adding these to the website before we went live. Like I say, since I got home today, it's just been non-stop. So I will get the Stadia page up as well in a minute, just so we can check to see if I've missed any off. But you've obviously got your Ghost coins as well. So they're starting to put pro deals on things in game a bit more as well. Year 1 pass, Rage 2 came to pro.
On Rage 2, I have completed that. Completed it, mate. Completed it, mate, and it is well worth picking up, and it plays really well on Stadia. I think that was the first game I completed on Stadia, so it is definitely worth picking up.
We've got a load of PlayerUnknown's Battleground stuff as well. If you're interested in dressing up your character and what have you, there's the option too. And obviously Monopoly, like we said there. And then if we go onto the Stadia page, like you said, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint, the Gold and Ultimate Edition is also on Pro as well. So at the moment, I think this is probably the biggest amount of Pro deals that have been on consecutively. If I think back, I can't think definitely of any more. But yeah, like I said, look, there's tons.
What do you guys think of it? What about you, Tommy?
What, the pro deals? Is that, sorry?
Yeah, we're just talking about the pro deals here. Sorry.
So I think it's crazy that we see in PUBG the Pioneer Edition is the pro deal. So it's like nearly £100 worth of game, right? And that is a pro game. So it's not even a pro deal. It's free as long as you have pro right now. When that comes off and it goes back up to £100, I think less than 10 people are going to buy that in its entire existence of being on the library, because people will just buy the base game and then buy other versions as and when they need to. But that's to give away £100 game the day it comes onto a platform is pretty insane. I don't think any other platform has ever done that I can think of. Having that many deals in total is just really good. We knew it was going to happen. In fact, I actually anticipate that we'll get more added to that before the 2-month trial, whatever extension, whatever you want to call it, of Pro ends. I think we will see more and more people, just pulled into this, being like, well, if I sign up now, I get all of these games for free to play instantly, and they're clearly just adding more and more to that to get as much traction as possible.
Well, how about you? What do you think of these deals? Anything tickling your fancy there?
Yeah, I think it's good, mate. Obviously, before they'd done all these big deals, I had 9 pro games, was it? I think it was 9, was it? I'm sure it was 9 they had before they'd done this big list. So you imagine that if you're maybe going to go, do you know what? I'm just going to rinse it 2 months, and I'm just going to go to like standard Stadia as such. But with these deals now, it's going to entice people to want to spend on pro, and like, you know what? I might pick up these deals, and it keeps people invested in the platform, and it makes people want to keep the pro subscription as well. Like say Tommy was saying, that's a cracking deal for PUBG. It's £100. Like it's madness. I think it's really good. There's a lot of deals. I think they're only going to add to the deals within the next 4 to 6 weeks, trying to really amp up the ante when it comes to this 2 months free that they're giving people. I just think they're just going to go all out, and it's great.
What about you, Yash? Any of them?
Yeah, it's like we've all mentioned since Stadia's full release came out that we're most likely going to see more and more deals as the time goes by to draw more people in, get more sales through. And again, we're clearly seeing that. It's a great range of games that they've got on sale as it is anyway. But yeah, as it's like Tommy said, that with PUBG being on offer as well, what's not to like?
Okay, we'll move on to our next one there. And it is Wave Break, and it's another first on Stadia game. This one was, as long as I remember, it's like it's a water game with the wave there, where it's a bit like Mario Kart. What actually reminded me of quickly was the Sonic Transformed, or the water levels in Sonic Transformed. That so it looks like it could be another good party game, another one for Stream Connect, which could be useful for. Okay, since we're all mixed up here, I'm just going to keep it simple. Ash, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, this game, unfortunately, definitely not for me, not my type at all. Yeah, no, I'm good, thanks.
I'll go next.
This is not a good game.
You haven't played it. You can't have that sort of attitude. You have to give it a play. You never know what will happen. What about you, Dave?
Yeah, it's like a Miami Vice-esque kind of feel to it, like the colour and the scheme in like Wave 64. I think it could be good fun. I'm not exactly massively jumping for joy for it, but it's one of those, like I say, with Stadia games, like Dan said before, you can sometimes get surprised by games. You can get caught off guard, and that makes it be one of these games that you might get hooked on. And with Stream Connect as well, I definitely will keep my eye on it. Keep my eye out on it, definitely.
I've just rewatched the trailer back just to refresh my memory.
Stadia
Arcade. The bear, I think. There's a bear riding the jet ski or something. I don't remember.
Dan, what's your feelings?
I'm noticing. Yeah, I was about to highlight that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. I did get some vibes from that as well. I believe what I just saw in the trailer when I was watching it. Then was like being able to like go up ramp half pipes and do tricks and stuff like that. So I reckon it could be a fun little title. I'm not sure if there's a multiplayer aspect to it or not, whether it's like racing or involved. I just think it's just padding out the games library, which is one of the biggest criticisms Stadia had, is that there's no games. So, well, there clearly is.
Yeah, but it's an interesting looking game.
What was the N64 title with the jet ski? Was that
Wave?
There. I was going to say, was that anything to do with this? Because when I seen it initially, I was like, this seems very familiar.
Could be.
Yeah. Anybody else? Anything to add that? Or I think we would be in agreement. This is probably the game which we would be least excited for.
Yes.
And it will probably be the best game that we play.
Supercross 2.0.
Yeah. Next game is Ember. First on Stadia and PC. Will include Stream Connect. So they're pushing the feature. And here's the interesting point, which I think we need to talk about. It's the first game in early access. So that is going... I don't think he's here at the moment, but this is going to whet the appetite of our young friend Chase, because this is going to hint towards Baldur's Gate 3 coming in early access as well, which was talked about. So we will start with Dan this time. What's your feelings on Ember here?
Again, it's not one of those titles I've looked at and thought, I need this right now. We could be pleasantly surprised again. It's also worth noting as well that we actually knew that this game potentially was coming to Stadia for quite some time now. We actually found an entry on one of the German ratings websites, along with Zombie Army as well, which we'll be coming to shortly. So it's not a massive surprise that this game was going to be announced for Stadia. But yeah, more games the merrier.
Yeah, I think this game looks... I hadn't really seen much on it. I know when we found those ESRB ratings, was it a week or two ago for this and the zombie one, I've forgotten its name.
Zombie Army 4, Dead War.
That's it. That's a spin-off of the Sniper series as well, isn't it? So I initially wasn't that excited for either of them, and then I went and watched Ember. I was like, right, yeah, I see the point of this game. That will be fun to play with friends. The Zombie Army 4 will be fun to play for a couple of hours, and I feel that for me personally, I feel that game will tail off then. So I probably will skip that unless it goes on a ridiculous pro deal. But either way, I know lots of people that love the Sniper Elite series, so again, I'm happy to see a game like that appear on this platform.
What do you think of Ember here?
I'm not really feeling it. You know, that it's got a little bit of humour to it, and obviously I get the fire and stuff, and there's a bit of comedic value to it. But I think it's just like the wave game. It's but then again, like Dan said at the start of the show, it might be one of those games that creeps up, and it might be a really good title. You can't be too dismissive of any titles in Stadia. But I'm not really feeling it, to be honest.
Lord Moore, Lord Ash here. What's your feelings on this news?
See, I think the opposite to what Lee just said. For me, I think it does, like, nothing against your thoughts. To me, it does look like quite a fun and entertaining game. Probably more if you have a few drinks beforehand. But yeah, definitely one of those games to draw a few people in. Suitable for pretty much all ages, and again, and towards the end of last year, I think it was, Dan was searching on the Stadia site and saw a bunch of features that we'll be getting, like pre-orders. Early access was one of them, so we knew early access was in the future, and this is the first one with a date, so we know when early access will start.
Which some people are only now just discovering as well.
Yes.
I hope it does do well, though. I'll step behind it, honestly, because anything that does well in Stadia is good for the platform.
New underwear required for young Thomas.
And we got that on camera too.
That's going to get clipped.
He just crept out from behind that arcade machine.
My feelings on Ember, it reminds me of Get Packed, believe it or not. I think it's going to be the perfect co-op game. You're going to have the Stream Connect in it. So again, I think this could be really, really interesting. And if they add in crowd play to it, it could be what Get Packed maybe should be when crowd play comes. I think this could be a big sort of game. And here's there's a couple of interesting things with this. The Stream Connect feature, this is going into like a lower, I'm not saying lower in a bad way, a less high profile, big budget title is going to be using Stream Connect. So it must be a reasonably easy thing to actually introduce it into games. And again, early access, I wonder if we're going to get any more announcements about games coming into early access. Has anybody else got anything to add?
No, I agree with you. We could see some of those things like early access, I can't remember, game demos and stuff like that. We could see them start dropping very soon. Now that we've got base, I know we're not allowed to call it that, but I'm going to anyway. Now that base is dropped, just being able to give people a chance to like download. I keep saying download. I keep using the terms I'm not supposed to use, but just to jump into a game demo, for example, and just try it, because you don't have to download it. You could be playing within seconds, and then you might go, actually, this is not for me, and you've not wasted any time whatsoever. So
I think that's the big thing. People have the ability to try things a lot easier and more. I think the platform is more versatile because of things like that.
Remember the old days of buying like computer magazines and you had like the demo disc?
Yeah.
and
I played Resident Evil 2 to death on that demo.
So I'm saying, like, we Stadia, it's so easy, just click a button. So either yeah or nay, you buy it, great, you don't, then no harm done. And what's a harm to like a publisher or developer? Nothing. Like,
yeah, I think we're starting to enter into exciting times with all this. Again, I want to hark back. Stream Connect is coming to an indie game.
Yeah, that's good.
That is just mind-boggling to me. I thought that you would have to be a reasonably high sort of not high, a slightly bigger sort of game to actually get like Stream Connect feature.
Yeah, I disagree because I think it's if you break it down, it's such a simple thing. All it is just a video feed.
just
If you think about what
replicating
we're
the same
doing now,
screen.
is technically Stream Connect because we've just got different webcams streaming to one screen.
And it's
So
even
really-
simpler than that, really, isn't it? Because within the game, the camera is a virtual asset anyway. So you're literally just taking somebody else's camera reference and displaying it on another screen.
Sorry, I just want to interject here. Thumper is leaving Pro.
Yep,
Yeah, we forgot that one. So
Oh, we're going to be coming to the Pro stuff anyway later on. We're going to have to fill this just to break it all down. So yeah, so this is really interesting. I think this game, well, it may not be everybody's cup of tea. I think it's introduced a couple of things to get people thinking about the Stream Connect, Stream Connect and the early access. So we'll move on to the next game, which is Zombie Army 4 Dead War. And it's coming on Thursday, isn't it?
Trilogy's really good.
And it is coming as a pro game, 40 quid. Can't say no to that. And I think Friday. You know what? You know what way things are at the moment. All the days are rolling into one. And I don't even know what date it is today. So with this game here, it's coming on pro on 1st of May, £40. And this is the sort of game which is perfect for pro. It's a different sort of game for people to play and just to try. So we will start with Ash and work our way back around again.
Yeah, so I'm half and half on this. I'm not a huge fan of zombie games in general, not because they're scary or anything, just...
yes, it is.
Oh, I just shake and I cry.
That's why you always, when we were kids, you always used to make me play the zombie games and not you.
What zombie games?
Resident Evil.
That's because I wasn't a fan. You were a massive fanboy, and you still are.
Okay,
And you
carry
probably
on.
wouldn't let me.
So I will say it before someone else says it or doesn't want to say it. Yes, you can snipe a zombie's testicles off and it goes into...
Knackers.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
That's why not.
I will say it so everybody knows you can snipe them off from a distance.
It's slow-mo as well.
Yeah, and it goes in slow motion and everything.
X-ray cam.
And then he looks down and goes, didn't need him anyway.
See, literally, that side of it is what draws me to it. But again, the fact that it's
Of
just
course
zombie.
it does.
Thanks. Like the whole side with it just being zombies, like to me, they've been played to death now. Just expand, go to something else, shoot vampires.
So, am I right in thinking that that's 4-player co-op?
Yes. Yes.
That's
very good.
that's
fun.
something that makes
That's great.
the game.
So that's going to be a game changer. Just to do.
Yeah, that's something that makes a difference to me for that title.
Okay, Lee, do you want to go now? What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's done by Rebellion. Obviously, like you're saying, they do the Sniper Elite games. I really like them. I like the kind of slow-mo cam, zombie testicle shooting. It's maybe not for everyone, but it's an added bonus for the game. Yeah, I really enjoy this title. I've never played the fourth one, but I was kind of holding off, hoping. I was actually at one point pondering getting on the Xbox. So I got an Xbox, but I heard it was a German rating done on it, so I kind of held off, hoping it would come out in Stadia. So yeah, I'm definitely getting this game. Great fun, 4-player, manic kind of horde mode-esque like game. Zombie Hitler, great, absolutely, yeah. I'm in. I kind of like the slapstick comedy as well. It's just great fun. Doesn't take itself too seriously as well, which is good.
Young Thomas.
So I kind of said my piece on this one before. It's generally speaking, I played a couple of the Sniper Elite games and they weren't really for me. I enjoyed them for a couple of hours and then afterwards it kind of tailed off quite quickly. So I've never finished one of them, but throwing zombies in might make it a little bit more up my street, but it's a pro game. I'm going to give it a go, see how it plays from there, but it's not high on my list of, especially with the games that we've just got, as well as what I've already been playing. It's not going to be a blockbuster for me.
Okay, Dan, what about you? What's your feelings in this game?
So we mentioned earlier that this game is a variant of Sniper Elite. It's built on the same engine. So my mind's thinking, are we going to see potentially Sniper Elite on Stadia? You know what I mean? Any future Sniper Elites or maybe a past one as well?
Why not do like a trilogy type thing?
Yeah. We know that the engine can work on Stadia. So... But in regards to the actual game itself, I think with it being a free pro title, obviously I will check it out. Probably wouldn't have bought it otherwise. I've only played one of the Zombie Army games in the past, and it was fun while it lasted. I only played it for a couple of days, and then the novelty wore off. So, but yeah, with it being a pro title, it cost me nothing to try it. So,
yeah, for me, this is the perfect pro game. It's a game which you either love or you hate, but you don't have to worry about downloading it. You can just jump in and play it. It's a perfect sort of one just to give it a try. Oh, sorry.
I was just say a feature that strikes me that we could potentially have fun with on that game is like when you're doing like interview pieces and stuff like that. Playing a game like that with people where there's levels of concentration backed up by stupid shots. I feel like there's potential for some streaming to work quite well with that game.
Yep, I think. See, there's a lot of games like that. Even Get Pack would be a perfect game
streaming
for that. And that Ember looks like there seems to be a bit of what's the word I'm looking for? Where all the games we're getting are the same sort, not same sort of games. We're getting lots of co-op, lots of local co-op. We're getting lots of coming together and play sort of games, which is really, really good and really encouraging. There seems to be a focus. What was that? Sorry?
Like Wii-esque games. Like it's
family games, everybody just to come in and just come together and have fun. So we'll move on to the next game, unless there's anything else you want to add about Zombie Army 4.
Nope.
Okay, the next game is Octopath Traveler, which I have spelt wrong in here. So
I was going to let you off then, but you highlighted it yourself. So
no, here's the thing. I actually copied and pasted this from the Stadia PR, so it must be right. I actually didn't type all out. I'm just remembering.
That's their second mistake today because they put an icon wrong on PUBG as well.
Yeah, so I copied and pasted that from the thing. I was just trying to get this up quickly. That's what she said, but no, we're talking about Traveler. So here we go. Octopath Traveler is a JRPG. Very, very interesting in this. We're getting this before PlayStation and we're getting it before Xbox. This was a Switch exclusive for a year before it went to PC. It has got like 2.5D graphics. It's like an old school Final Fantasy. If you think of Final Fantasy games before Final Fantasy 7 to 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, etc. So who did I start? I started with Ash last time. Dan, what do you feel about this?
I love the old school Final Fantasies, as you mentioned. Played them to death as kids, so maybe this could be something that I need to check out because, like I say, I've kind of gone off RPGs as I've got older. I find I don't really have much time for them because they can be quite lengthy games. But if this plays like something that I might have played as a child, then perhaps it can reignite that passion for RPGs inside. So I'll definitely give it a look, yeah.
Thomas? Dude, I find him funny here. He's got his mic muted again, so I can sit and abuse him for a bit longer. He's not actually responded to... He's actually responding to Thomas without even saying anything.
I'm not going to flip the bird this time. I won't be buying it. They're not my kind of games. As much as I like the Final Fantasy series, I like them from the more mainstream titles. So 7, 8. I didn't even particularly like 9 that much, which is really weird. Yeah, I know. But then 10. So
10's the best one ever made.
I still think 7.
You know, as
Let's face it,
I'm
it was 10,
sorry
10
for
2, right?
no, I'm sorry to interrupt, but like I have to say, right, the Final Fantasy X ending still makes me cry to this day. Like, if you've played through the whole game,
It's the
and
most
obviously-
cinematic game of all of them. I
yeah,
think.
but the thing, I've shown people the ending, they've gone, okay, right. But if you've played the game from start to finish, you've invested so many hours into it, and you get to the end. I won't ruin it for anybody that hasn't played it, but if you haven't by now, then you should. And the ending is just like, oh my god! And I very rarely well up at things, and even that just has me like.
It was a. I think you could take Final Fantasy X away from the Final Fantasy series and it just be its own thing and just everybody forget that 10-2 ever existed. But that game was, I think, quite an important game for games everywhere. It showed a different way of telling stories. It's just, yeah, I think 7 holds something for me as a kid, but 10 was probably one of the best stories I've ever played in a video game. But that being said, the rest of the Final Fantasy series weren't really for me, and this game doesn't tick anything that makes me want to play it, especially at 50 quid.
We will go to Lee.
It's too expensive in my opinion. I've heard good things about it. I know it was on the Switch. I know it's got a bit of a following. It's what Square Enix obviously that do it. I just think $49.99, because what's going to happen is, you imagine if you're an outsider looking in at that game and you look at it graphically, and you're going to look at the price and go $49.99. I'm like, I think maybe if they put it around $29.99, it might sell a bit better. I've never played the game. I've heard very good things though, so it's got good reviews, but it's just not my cup of tea. But at that price, yeah, I don't think it'll do that well at that price. It'll have to be a sale at some point. I think if it maybe goes on sale, maybe $29.99 or something, or $24.99. It could do well, but at that price, it's a bit steep.
I feel like it's a niche game, and that's why it done well on the Switch, because the Switch in general is quite niche.
It's a multi-million seller.
Yeah, it did sell very well there, but for that price, I think it's too much. $29.99 would have been a sweet spot for me, or under south of that, but $49.99, you're asking a lot. Most people are heavily invested in those type of games, then.
I'm just going to mention the price here. Yes, it's 50 quid. I'm just saying I don't think that game actually goes that cheap. On Switch, I think they're a big sale there. It was $29.99 or 25 quid at the very most. And this is a game which has been out 2-3 years on Switch now.
I think
Switch doesn't really do anything cheap.
Ash?
So fair then.
Yeah. Ash?
Yeah, for me, it's not the type of game I'd usually play. I'm gonna give it a proper look into it to see if it's something I could get in the future. But again, like Lee just said, at that price, no,
That's high.
Just no.
My quick thoughts on it are, I think I mentioned this earlier in our wee quick stream today, because it's been such a hectic day. That actually feels about a lifetime ago, because everything's just so mad at the moment. Is this, for me, is a standout game for the Connect, because this is actually pushing a game which is wanted by both Xbox and PlayStation fans. It is going to tempt people in, not at that price, unfortunately, but you can actually see things on Twitter that they're actually jealous that Stadia has got this before Xbox and PlayStation. If someone can just talk for 1 wee minute, I'm actually going to try and I was going to say bring it up, but then I know everybody would start laughing. I'm going to try and find the tweet here, and if someone wants to talk about this game for,
we want to talk about the fact that you can't get it up.
Yes, I have to borrow your blue pills now and again, you know.
I will just say, for those who are getting jealous because we get it first, again, right now, Stadia is free for everyone to join. Give it a go. And obviously, hope when the game does come out, then give it a go.
I don't really think there's much to say that we haven't already said about it.
I have heard like very good things about it. Even I do have a Switch in that was meant to be absolutely amazing, but it's not my type of game. And at 50 quid as well, I know obviously what Duncan was saying anyway about obviously people are jealous of Xbox and PlayStation, but 50 quid, I'm not sure on that price. It's just a bit too much. Hopefully it comes in a deal and then it might boost sales a bit.
I'm sure it will still do really well as well. I think just unfortunately, it seems like this game isn't something that any of us would go to naturally. So I think we're just the wrong audience for the game.
Yeah, I have got my eye on it, and I am debating it massively, to be telling you the truth.
You are a mass debater, aren't you?
Yes.
Well, as a bonus, he's got it up.
Yeah.
Has anybody actually clocked on that there's an award on the website called that?
Mass
Did you know
debater.
that?
No.
Can't say I'd noticed.
No.
That just shows Dan's humour.
Yes.
How many? Is it topic creation or just comments?
I think it's comments. 500 posts on the website.
Well, I'll just go back to this tweet here. This is Jez Gordon. For people who don't know, Jez Gordon writes for Windows Central. Yeah, obviously an Xbox focused person. I think that tweet says it all. He has been extremely negative towards Stadia, which you can imagine. And the thing is, as well, he's been boasting about xCloud today. xCloud, for people who don't know, has actually expanded a number of regions today on the same day as the Stadia Connect. We can talk about that. Interesting timing is what I would say about it. But I'm just showing you, there's now some jealousy out here that Stadia is getting a game which isn't available on the other platforms. So
I think this is going to bode badly for people that kind of had this attitude that Stadia is something to be made fun of or to avoid. Tweets like that will come back to haunt these people, and we've already seen a lot of people backtracking on things that they've said, such as Digital Foundry and IGN, and they're taking a relook at what they've said in the past and changing their narrative on it, and it just reeks of, like you said, jealousy. When if that had come out on PlayStation first or any other console platform than Stadia first, there wouldn't have been anybody on the Stadia saying, "Oh, yikes, it's coming out on Xbox first," or "It came out on the Switch first." It just goes to show what some of the people in other communities are like, if you ask me, and it needs to stop. I mean,
tribalism, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's something that's really grated me as well. That I don't know whether this is something you were going to get into this episode, Duncan, but the Destroy All Humans trailer that came out. You know what I mean? Yet again, missing the Stadia logo, and it's like not even the developers are taking Stadia. Some developers, anyway, are taking Stadia seriously at the moment, and it's like, why can't we have the same courtesy as everybody else when it comes to that? You know what I mean? PlayStation gets exclusives, Xbox gets exclusives, Switch gets exclusives. Why can't we? Do you know what I mean?
That maybe that people want to hold into that physical side of things. It's like it harks back to like the reminiscing of
even so.
I'm not justifying it, but it's just
yeah. But even so, if you're one of these people that likes your physical, you know what I mean, your discs and your consoles, like you do you. But don't go all over social media and start harping on about how Stadia is dead in the water and this, that, and the other, because it's pathetic. Sorry, I'm going on a bit of a passion rant there.
it's okay.
That's dead on. I'll just touch on Destroy All Humans here. We got the press release today about Destroy All Humans. The story's actually going up tomorrow. We didn't want it to get lost with all the other news going on today. Destroy All Humans is still coming to Stadia. It was just off the press release and off the trailer. So to confirm, Destroy All Humans is still coming to Stadia. We'll go on to the next one here. I think this is going to be a quicker one because I think we've already talked about this game before, and it's reaffirming Rock of Ages is available in June. It's like a strategy game. I think it's an RTS tower defense game. So, Ash, what's your feelings, or do you just want to skip this one because we've already sort of debated it before?
No, I'll just make it quick. Like, most of my other comments. But played one of the last games, found it hilarious. But yeah, I'm definitely going to give this a go when it comes out. And all you should too.
Lee, wake up, Lee, wake up.
One of the days, man.
Yep. Your turn now. I'm actually getting told. Everybody said, "Are you sleeping there?" So
That's Rock. He says it to me all the time. I'm all good. I've never played any of the old games. I've heard good things. I know a few guys in the chat, including Adam in the chat, who likes the mock mate and is looking forward to it. I'm definitely going to give this a look. Yeah, I'll keep my eye on this one.
Tommi?
I also have never played any of the previous ones, but I just get a very distinct sort of Monty Python feel from these games. From what I can see, the kind of comedy I think is going to be right up my street. So I'm quite looking forward to playing it. I think it's going to be another title that's obviously not going to be a £50 job. So at least I hope it isn't. So I think it'll be along the lines of the 20 quid mark, which I think is absolutely fine for these kinds of games. They're just ones that you go and play, have a bit of fun, and then go and play something else. We need a break from all of the intense sort of action games.
Daniel?
Yeah, I pretty much agree with Tommi on this one. What with the Monty Python vibes and what have you. So I think it is another one. There's so many titles that I just want to try before I kind of commit to anything, or I want to see someone else playing them before I commit to them. And this is another one of them. So,
yeah, I think we hate doing this sort of thing, but I'm going to go for it. I think this has got maybe a pro game road over it, possibly. if not at the time, but a couple of months down the line, unless there's a big lot of games coming in the next couple of months. I'm interested in it, but I think it's a £20 or under game. So we'll move on to our next topic here, and it is the pro game updates for this month. So basically what is happening, we're getting PUBG, as we already know. We're getting Zombie Army 4 Dead War, Steam World Heist, the Turing Test, and Thumper is leaving Stadia Pro. So, Ash, what's your feelings in this?
Yeah, no, they're definitely good games and options. It's like I've already got PUBG sorted. Steam World Heist, I've already got that. Pretty fun. Turing Test, I definitely want to try that for the puzzle aspects and give it a go. And I am glad Thumper is leaving.
Lee, what about yourself?
Yeah, PUBG, obviously I like PUBG. Zombie Army 4. Going to be great once again, multiplayer. That's two big multiplayer games that you've got there. PUBG, obviously, you can connect with other friends on other platforms. 4-player Zombie Army, great. Steam World Heist is meant to be good. Turing Test, I'm interested in that because of the puzzle aspect. And Thumper, it's kind of a shame it's leaving, but it's not a massive loss. So I'm happy with the games, definitely.
Stadia, Arcadia?
I'm fine with these programs, to be fair. Can I just check? Is Heist, is that the one that's like it's not an isometric style, but it's not the card one, is it?
No,
that's
it's
Quest.
And it's like a 2D XCOM.
Yeah, so yeah, actually, I'm really looking forward to that. That was the one I was hoping was going to go on Pro when they announced the games.
Sorry.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, I'm getting a bit hot.
What does it say?
Yeah, just show people, Daniel. Go, just get up a little bit.
It couldn't be any smaller.
I forgot I had that t-shirt on until I started laughing. Yeah, sorry to interrupt you there, but
and on that bombshell. Yeah, I'm happy with these games. I mean, PUBG I think is a brilliant game. I won't play it a huge amount, but it's nice to know it's there, and I can just go and jump in on some game like that. Zombie Army 4, again, I'll play it occasionally. Heist is probably the one that I'll get the most out of these. Turing Test is, I'll try it.
Awesome.
if Duncan likes it, I probably won't like it. But no, again, I'm happy with any game that comes on a pro deal. I'm never going to complain if it's a pro deal because it's cost me nothing. I'll try any of them at that. Thumper actually, it's been a pro game for quite a long time now.
They extended it by a month as well, didn't they?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I just don't think that the player base for Stadia was ever... The time that it came out, it was just not right. There weren't enough people to try a game like that and really enjoy it. I think that's a game where if you already had a couple of million players, there would be some people that found that that was the kind of game that they wanted. But unfortunately, it's struggled in these times. But I mean, I've played it a handful of times. It's not that I don't enjoy it. It's just it's very repetitive. I quite like rhythm games, like the Guitar Hero games, Rock Band and stuff like that. I played those to death, but I couldn't find something in Thumper that made me want to continue playing that.
Dan, what about yourself?
You've all covered it already. I mean, to be fair, the games like the Turing Test, Dumper, SteamWorld Heist, we've already discussed on the channel before anyway, so yeah. I don't really have too much to add to them that you guys haven't already said either. Again, PUBG, Dead War, Zombie Army, we've discussed them already. You can't turn your nose up at a free game, and even if you do, so what? Just move on. There's plenty of other games to play. So.
I'll just give my quick take. PUBG, Zombie, I think we're excited. SteamWorld Heist, I wanted as a pro game, so I'm going to be happy enough with that. The Turing Test is an amazing game if you like puzzle-y type games like Portal. So well worth checking out. And also, if it uses the same achievement system or same achievements, it's an easy full sweep of achievements. So I actually remembered about one thing I needed to add here, or sorry, two things I needed to add. So we'll move on to the next topic, and that is doing that.
No, do not subscribe. Do not follow.
Wait, Tommy, you were talking to a certain minor celebrity today.
You can call him a minor celebrity.
Well, in comparison,
he's not an A-lister, but yeah. I put hashtag don't subscribe to Stadia Arcadia in there because I know you were talking to him on Twitch earlier.
I'll actually be serious for once. One thing which may be overlooked is Orcs Must Die was delayed to summer 2020. It was originally meant to be spring 2020. I'll just open this one up because I don't think we need to go around the table on this one. So what's people's thoughts about Orcs Must Die? They being delayed.
They must die.
They must die, and they must die a lot. Yes, but I'm not actually surprised with the current situation. So I think it must be down to that. Oh, and see, these fixed his green screen. Does anybody else got anything to add about Orcs Must Die 3?
No, I've never played any of the games before, so again, I can't really put a whole lot of input into that.
Same, never played them, so.
I'm going to show my age again here because I am the old one here. I played Orcs Must Die on live, so they have been on streaming platforms for a long time, and they were quite fun games. Just want to make sure, Ash, you have nothing to add here because we can't see your lovely face.
No, nothing. No. Well, you can see my face. I've got a crown on.
It's probably better you just having that one anyway.
It really is.
Okay, I'm just putting out. Actually, move that one up here. We actually covered this already. This was on the agenda, so I'm just going to skip that because we actually covered that a wee bit earlier. The next one is, what's our thoughts for the future following this Connect? Do you think this is opening the door? So was the bigger and better things, and what do you think is going to happen? Ash, what do you think here?
Oh no, yeah, for sure. You all know what my future plans are with the VR kind of side, but in the nearby future, definitely I think with having PUBG on, that will then entice bigger companies like I forgot the name now, but the people who make Call of Duty,
Activision.
That's the one, to entice them, like games like that to come on board and stuff like that. We've got obviously we've got Red Dead, and with obviously all the new people coming on board, the games that are coming on board, it might then entice them to bring other games. But yeah, I definitely think that between now and June is the time for Stadia to expand.
Okay, Andy, what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think maybe trying to get into more territories as well. That may be something they're going to look into. Crowd play. Hopefully we get that at some point soon. Plus maybe a back catalogue, like obviously Rockstar have Red Dead. Why not Grand Theft Auto? CG Projekt Red are getting Cyberpunk soon. Why not Witcher 3? They're all possible, all cracking titles. Once again, like PUBG might lead on to Call of Duty, FIFA and Madden. Then you might get, like, say, NHL as well. I just think they're going to have a nice mix of trying to get AAAs and like indie titles, and that's kind of the route they're going down. And I say PUBG is a big game, and hopefully that opens the door for other big titles to come to platform. So I'm excited and happy. Hopefully it just continues.
I think adding something like FIFA and Madden for the FIFA equivalent, if you like, with a couple of the games that we've either already had or already been announced, I think this is designed to be a sort of a door opener more than anything else, to say that for everyone that says the platform is dead and that it doesn't have any games and blah, 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 we've got F1 coming in 2 months, we've got FIFA coming, we've got Madden coming. So literally all of the big sports titles now are releasing on this platform for this year's content. And they are some of the highest volume selling games that exist in terms of sports. I think if people don't really like games but they play games, you'll quite often find that people have sports titles in that. So I think the June, as I said this morning, I think the June Connect or June, July, whatever it's going to be, I think that's going to be where they really start showing these partnerships off, the likes of Capcom, which we still haven't seen anything from yet. There are going to be, I think that show will be essentially just, these are all the games that are coming this year. We've still got the 100-odd-ish, well, maybe slightly less than 100 with these that have announced today that are still due to fall in this year, right? So that's a lot. There's still a lot of content that's got to come in the next next 7 months. So I think that will be a big Connect. I think that's going to be like an hour rather than a 15, 20-minute kind of job. And I think that's going to be when we see crowd play and stream direct.
Sorry, but guys, is there any Konami games on the horizon? I know Konami are one of the.
I don't think there's any plan, but I think that's got PES all wrote all over that. A Pro Evolution Soccer for people who don't understand that acronym, because you should do this acronym because you're bad and evil. Dan, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like you guys have said, we've got another Connect coming in the summertime. I think they really need to start showing off some more of the features rather than the games. Obviously, games are good as well, but if we haven't had the features such as like crowd play and all those type of features, if we haven't had them already by then they need to at least give us a better look at them, if not unveil them at that event, in my personal opinion. Because people are crying out for them, and I think it will be a massive step forward for Stadia if they can unleash them, because not a lot of other platforms are doing those type of things, and it will set us apart. But I definitely agree that it could open the floodgates to better games coming to Stadia as well, and not just the slew of indie games which we seem to have been seeing. I think we're going to get quite a few bigger titles, and not only them, but hopefully some studios may have had a chance to look at how PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds and the FIFAs and the Maddens, how they perform on Stadia, and go, I want a piece of that pie.
Okay. I wanted to do this when Tommy's there, so I'll wait till this is later. My feeling is, we're going to have that big one in June, July time. I didn't think we would get any new big game announcements like an Assassin's Creed, the new ones. I think they're willing to do the PlayStation and Xbox conference, or they might actually wait to the big Stadia conference. He's not going. He's going to be away for ages here, and he's going to miss this. Can I just say, my wild and wacky predictions? I actually got one right.
Woo.
Woo! My wild and wacky prediction of this Connect being 20 minutes was bang on the money, more or less. So
You couldn't have predicted something better, could you?
I know. I'm sorry.
That's it. You keep your head in shame.
Build him up to knock him down.
Yeah, but I have to say I was right in that one. But going forward, I am reasonably excited. This was a good Connect. It wasn't a great Connect, in my view. We've got games we know we wanted to have, the FIFAs, the Maddens. We've got a battle royale. This is 2-3 massive steps forward.
Ticked a few boxes, which is
ticked a few boxes. We now need the other boxes to be ticked. We need the features coming. We need the Stadia exclusive game. I thought we may have got the card game, which was talked about in Project Dan said for me. Project Chimera or I can't.
Chimera.
Yep.
Well, they're not trying to do an exclusive title. Was it Splash Damage as well at some point? They were talking about showing that off later in the year.
Yep. So
They may show that in the next one.
Yeah, I think they're going to show that in the next one. But I thought they might have actually shown off the card game here because they seem to have that up and running. So that's just going to be like a really small game. So I'm reasonably excited going forward now. I think we still need to temper it. I'm hoping actually we start building up the catalog of games, which we are starting to do, even if it's some of the older games now. Oh, he's back. Did you actually hear that I actually got a prediction right? And no comment?
No, I'm not giving you the satisfaction.
I think this is a good time to finish this off here now. So
Can I just, before you do that?
Yep.
I think I seen screenshots of this. I haven't seen the video, but I think that's enough that we should talk about this. That both Meg and Tom from Sounds of Stadia featured in the Connect multiple times.
Kept that on quiet, didn't they?
They did.
Sneakies.
I'm not saying nothing about that.
But at the same time, that to me was probably one of the highlights of the entire thing because it shows that Stadia are paying attention to the content creators.
Yeah.
And who better to have than, you know what I mean, people like Meg there and Scarlet Stream as well. Who better to have?
Little inside man.
Ooh.
I reckon Duncan wrote the entire thing.
I don't want to
Duncan
say
Harrison.
I don't want to be bad and evil. I was asked to go on it, and I turned it down. So it was,
I don't want to be bad and evil. I wasn't asked by anybody.
Yeah.
The content's rubbish.
I know that Google loves Duncan over you.
Yes, I was asked to go on it, and I may have pointed people in a few directions as well who they should ask. Because I wasn't feeling comfortable talking like I am now, if you even count what ideas talking.
Duncan, as much as I know that you you don't like people telling you that you do an awful lot of work for the Stadia scene, you do, so you just have to accept it.
You do.
No. So, just not
Sounds.
Yeah, but I've Meg, Tom, and there was other people there
Scarlet
as well.
Stream.
Scarlet Stream. I also actually I'll look up the person's name here. If you want to talk for a wee second about this.
when are Stadia going to do merchandise?
Oh, just on that point.
Here we go. He's going to show off.
Oh, it started. I retract my previous statement. How much?
Oh, yes.
How much?
We'll just get the the official Stadia Club.
Copy.
Come on.
I also think it was copy. Oh, sorry.
I don't know how well the lighting is up, though.
I have words to say to you that I probably shouldn't right now.
So I think we should call it. It was Meg. It was Scarlet. It was Tom from Stadia, and the other person was Cobby Gaming. There's another person who was involved in it. If there's any other people who don't know, we'll shout them out here as well. If anybody knows them in chat. So this wasn't actual Stadia people saying, "Oh, that's a better picture of Tommy now." And
Now everyone knows Tommy's a fake.
yes.
Apparently, my camera was just like, no. You can't remove your background. You have to close the entire thing.
Yeah. So for people to know, these are actual real people out there in the community, and they're not actors. They're not anything like that. Stadia went out and approached people, and I think there's another video coming up. I think there's someone else going to be involved in the Stadia community. I'm not going to give the names out. It's not me, and I definitely didn't recognize him over there. But I think there is other people involved.
That was a lie. Duncan just lied to you. He is an actor. That's why he turned it down.
Yes,
that's true. You are an actor.
Of course.
In Game of Thrones, one of the biggest TV series of all time.
I'm not quiet, an actor.
Oh, yeah, Dan's going to try and find the picture since I put it up there. I can actually tell you when they started approaching people was at the beginning of March for this ad. So it's been in the works for a wee while. So it's been in the works for nearly 2 months now.
I can't be bothered to find the picture, but yeah, Duncan was in Game of Thrones.
I'm scrolling. I think it was.
It exists.
I'm so envious of your hoodie.
I know I want one, man.
It doesn't show up very well on camera, though.
I actually tweeted them one time about it, like, "Oh, we don't have any Stadia stuff, but here's all the Google stuff." I was like, "What?" They sent me to like the shop, just like Google stuff. It's like, great.
I can't find it.
If you give me 2 seconds, I'll find it.
I have just
put it on
across...
Twitter or something, surely.
This is the fun part of the show. Welcome.
I think we're about ready to wrap it up, aren't we?
I found it. Hang on a minute, I've got to find the right.
Tommy, I can't put it up on screen. That's your porn.
Well, there's a reason why I was wearing that dark hoodie.
That's Game of Bones, that one.
This is the sound of silence.
That isn't me, to be absolutely fair. That isn't me.
It is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not you. Just something about it.
Right, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up now, I think. Before we massively stray, but yeah. So I just want to personally thank everybody that's come and joined us tonight. I know there's been plenty of other people talking about this event and people doing, live reactions and stuff. We've tried to kind of give everybody else a chance to have their say. So thank you for coming out to find out what we've got to say, which has probably resonated a lot with the rest of the community anyway. But as always, it means a lot to us. Yeah,
definitely. It's genuinely overwhelming when things like the fact that we hit like 500 subs, and it's just crazy to think of.
Thank you, everybody. I wasn't there for that stream earlier, but yeah, thank you for getting us to 500 subs. Oh,
he's gone further. He's shown us the actual video.
Yep. I actually found it there.
I can see him already.
Yep.
Yeah. So there we are. That is me in Game of Thrones. I will try and...
Can you not get any brighter?
a little dog.
Oh, there is me here. that is my claim to that is my claim to fame.
But it could be anybody.
I know.
If you look slightly to the right, I'm there as well. Look,
it's like the milk tray man. It's like
there. I'll play the scene
Oh,
here.
we're all there.
copyright.
Yeah, there's Dan walking through with his ginger hair.
Yeah, there's no sound. So, oh no. This is it here. And this is the Red Wedding episode. So, yes, I am in the Red Wedding here. So,
not only
He
have you
was
just
the,
picked a
the
random
bride.
person,
yeah,
he's picked a random person to say is him, but also the coolest episode as well.
There you go.
Never to be seen again.
Never to be seen
Cool.
again. So, we're actually
Right.
going to check that down as you would say. Copyright.
Thank you to Lee for joining us as well
thanks for having
today.
me on. It was
Yes,
awesome.
thank you.
Really enjoyed it, guys. Honestly, it was great fun,
We haven't
guys.
kept you up.
No, great fun, guys. Honestly, I really enjoyed that. It was awesome. Good fun.
They give us pimp your channel there.
Yeah, you can find me at StadiaMania on Twitter. Also, my YouTube channel is called StadiaMania. I'm doing a lot of Football Manager content at the moment, doing some Let's Play stuff, beginner's guide stuff. So, yeah, please check out my channel. Hopefully, you enjoy it. Thanks a lot, guys. Honestly, it was amazing. Thank you to the chat as well. Really enjoyed it tonight. It was good fun.
Okay, I would like to thank everybody for joining us here. And we will be doing our podcast on Thursday night at 9:00. And Dan's going, oh, I forgot about that.
It's going to have nothing to talk about unless they announce something on the Thursday as well. So
I've got an idea if it's still right, but I will run it past you guys. It's like something Tommi came up with earlier, and we're not talking about when he took his blue pills. So we will.
You took them, not me.
Yeah. But I want to thank everybody for joining us. So if you want to say goodbye, Dan.
goodbye, Dan.
Goodbye, Tommi.
Goodbye, Dan. Oh, goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I'm not doing it as well.
Ash, say goodbye.
Goodbye, 500.
Goodbye, 500. And Lee, you can say goodbye there. Goodbye,
Bye,
Lee.
everybody.
Everybody, thanks for joining us in this stream. And until the next time, bye.
Bye.
Bye. Just punched my microphone.